All right, it is race time for the Lite, the LSRL guys. Light Speed Racing League, Kentucky, 225 laps. I'm Harold Darner with One to Go Studios. In the booth with me tonight is Andy Dunwoody. Andy, we're under the lights at Kentucky.
Yeah, Harold, I love this racetrack, especially at night. A lot of grip, nice wide racetrack to race on. You can run wherever you want.
Well, these guys are out there right now mixing it up on the track. They're trying to get their qualifying times in. Currently looking at Andy Briganti. We'll make sure that we're not messing up these guys' names. You know, quite a few were new to this, guys. We messed you up, I'm sorry. Trying to get Andy his lap as he's going around high and wide. This is what it seemed like going to be all night tonight. But in practice, everybody was on that high side. What do you think, Andy?
I think you're going to see a bunch of them down mid-low groove on new tires, and as the tires wear out, they'll go to the top, and then you'll be running up around the wall.
Yeah, I saw those guys basically being up high and wide for the most part during their practices as they were doing their pit parties and all. Looks like Andy's putting up a number 2 currently.
Okay, current quick time is landing with a 31.066.
And it's we're One to Go Studios. We're new to the Light Speed Racing League. Just talking to these guys yesterday. We had Anthony Giuliano. Sorry, Anthony. I know you even told me how to say your name and I messed it up. You just pulled out there. 39.13. Good job, man. Number 17. There he is in that good car there. And he says, we're going to park it. I would too after I got this past lap. What would you do?
One and done. Definitely.
Make sure the car stays good for the actual race itself. And these, like I said, we're here, One to Go Studios. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, do us a favor, go to Facebook Live, put us on a follow. We're trying to get our metrics up to over 100 followers. It'll help us out with the quality of the racing for the frames per second and the high definition. So if you do us that favor, we'd really appreciate it. Andy, this is actually, you know, something you and I haven't been in the booth together in a while, so it's gonna be kind of fun to be calling this race. 125 laps with was it currently, how many drivers are we looking at? About 18 roughly, looks like.
I see 12 on the timesheet and like 20 overall.
Okay, 20 overall. All right, so we're gonna start off things here real quick. We're gonna go to a we're going to go off to one of our sponsors here real quick. So we're going to go to one of our sponsors here real quick here. All right, we're back. Andy, looks like they're about finished with the grid here, so let's go down our starting grid. On the inside pole, we got Anthony Giuliano in the 17 machine. Outside of him is Brandon Thornhill in the 68. Andy Briganti in a 24 in the 3rd position. Landon Quisenberry, 75 on the outside of 2. Inside of 3, Dylan Gones in the 27. Elliott Sadler outside him in the number 99 machine. Hermie is in the inside of the 4th in the number 9. Michael Steffen in the 669 is rolling off 8th. In our 9th, starting off is Matthew Telder in the 22. Aaron Hearn in the 91 on the outside of row 5. Inside row 6 is Brianna 11 in the 71. And Joseph Morato in the number 5 on her outside. Glenn Stout Jr. 13th at 158. Cameron Hearn is not qualified. He's also our headhunter. We were looking for him. There's a bounty on his head for this race. Samuel Fontaine in the 20 machine is 15th. Kevin Anderson 16th in the 81 machine. Rolling off 17th is Leonard Frost in the 11. John Henry Allen in the 161 in 18. And rounding us out is Andrew Saucier in the 97 machine. And that is our grid presented by Wilder Graphix. If you're looking for a new paint, Wilder Graphix, give them a shot over here. And that's our buddy running this place, Anthony Giuliano's group, Wilder Graphix. So what do you think? Who do you got going to the front right off the bat here?
They clearly have a bounty on Cameron for a reason, so I'll be watching to see if he comes from 14th to first here on a quick run from the back to the front.
Yeah, they told me that he's very, very good and somebody to definitely watch for. And speaking of bounties, the bounty is actually going to be, we got it going to Cameron, is going to be going out to Johnston Elementary School. They're selling paper hearts for first graders in need of heart transplants. You can check that out on WRDW.com. And if Cameron wins, he's going to give out $50. If he loses, he's giving $100. And I think a couple other drivers are giving money as well. Great cause. Child needing a heart transplant. These guys got big hearts. Hopefully they're going to show us a big show as well. All right, so we're going to go take the front here as we got these guys rolling around now. There's our 17 machine, Anthony in the 17.
Pace lights are off. We're going to go green this time.
Yep, we going green on this one here. A nice shot of the backstretch as the cars come by. A lot of nice, cool paints on these cars. Nice look at turn number 3 as the pace car takes him around here.
Pace car's off.
Pace car is off.
Green is in the air. We're underway.
And there's our leader. The number 17 stays low with the 68 on his outside. That Burger King machine also helping out 75. The number 99, Elliott Sadler, down on the inside looking for that second position. The Elliott Sadler looking down low on the 68 machine. Is he going to make it stick there? Looks like he will there. It takes that exalted 99 machine right on and around. It was a Burger King car, number 75, and Landon down low on the 68 as well. A lot of early movers starting off this race.
Yeah, this is the best time to get as many passes in as you can because the tires are still fresh. Air pressure's building, so if you can get a good run right here in the beginning, you can pass a bunch of them.
Yeah, definitely get them while you can, right? And then we can start going to thin out this place. So, got these guys moving around on the racetrack. So right now, we're playing, like you said, a little bit of the fall of the leader. The 17 is off to a pretty big gap in the field by 0.4 seconds. But now, and there you go. There's the fastest lap, 31.250 for Anthony in that 17 sweatless machine.
Got a good group of cars back here around the 8th spot, balanced side by side with Hermie Sadler. These guys keep mixing up top, bottom, high, low. You can see all the different lines these guys are running.
And there's Andy Briganti in that 24 machine in the middle of all that with Hermie Sadler right behind him in the number 9 machine. Brianna 11 in the 71 has now posted the fastest lap.
Yeah, you can see from that camera angle there that he's running right around the bottom, just making passes.
Yeah, look at that trading paint scheme in the 71 machine. Getting everything they can right off the bat. 91 going underneath there.
Pretty wide.
And a little bit on that low side of 24, but now that 71 machine looking high and low, so got to both sides get the car dialed in. He's understanding of the car here. Gonna go back up to what you got there.
My only concern with running everywhere and running the wall. My only concern with this racing real hard here in the beginning is you don't want to heat those tires up too fast and then have nothing left for the end of the run if this goes green for a while.
Yeah, these guys definitely, and we're being told that they will have broadcast cautions at 30 and 65. So 30 and 65 of the 130 of the 125. So we got guys mixing it up right here in that middle back. Let's go jump back up to the front here to see how Anthony's doing in that 17 machine. And he has got one heck of a lead, Andy. Would you be concerned with the 1.2 right off the bat this road? 6 laps in?
Yes and no. Again, if you can get that big lead and then save some tires, you can kind of manage that gap till as you see Elliott Sadler's running them down already, down to 0.9. Elliott's running a little higher, but it's kind of now you play that ebb and flow game of how much tire do you save, where do you run? Do you run on that patch in turn 1?
Yeah, and then there's our showing on our scoreboard their intervals. That's basically the time for to the next car. So Elliott Sadler's within 1 second of the leader, Anthony Giuliano in the 17, and then Landon is about 0.3 seconds behind Elliott Sadler. So let's run down the top 5 with Anthony Giuliano. Anthony, I'm going to mess up your name a couple times till I get it right. I'm so sorry. Giuliano, there you go. Giuliano, Anthony Giuliano in the 17. Elliott Sadler, second place in the number 99 machine, followed by Landon Quisenberry in the 75. Brandon Thornhill in 4th in the 68 machine. And Dylan Gonas in the 27 as your top 5. And they're not too far off each other there, Andy. We're, looking within 2 seconds from the 1 through 5, and then they start spreading out a little bit further out, but a little bit past that. So it's still way early.
It's still early. They're already starting to get stacked up. Watching this 67 car is making a bunch of passes here. He's after starting with no qualifying time. He is the bounty car again. He's driving right up through here right now. Yeah,
he's now making that pass underneath Hermie Sadler, and then looking to drive right around the 24 if he can get that as well. He's definitely the man on the mission here. He did not take a qualifying time as per their rules in the league for the bounty, that he was to start without a qualifying time. So he was the first car without a qualifying time on the grid, which, as you were saying, that he started in the we had him started in. But you had him in the 17th, you said, when he started off?
He started 14th.
14th, okay.
Currently up to 9th, passing for 8th.
Okay, yeah, I've got him in the current 8th position. I'm just trying to remember why my scoring doesn't have his original pace, his original spot down, so. So they said the front 5 are pretty much staying where they are, so we're going to kind of keep an eye here on Cameron and see how he's going. Like, he's already cut his deficit in half.
Yeah, you can see he's already going around the 71 car on the bottom. He's running right around this black patch at the bottom of the racetrack. That black patch can kind of give you more grip sometimes, but it can also be loose down there.
Yeah, we got some scrape in there. Looks like the number 9, a little high on that wall there, is coming out of turn number 4. That one thing about Kentucky, I remember it being deceptively wide, as in you think you got more track than's actually there as you start to let that car slide up the banking.
I agree, Harold. This track looks like it's 5 lanes wide, but you can really only race on 2 or 3 of them. You'll see these guys run right up by the wall where that 91's running, and it's like you go up there and you don't feel like you're going to make the corner sometimes, even though that track feels so wide.
Yeah, the number 91 is the brother of our bounty car of the number 67, Cameron Hearn, says Aaron. And we see a lot of guys scraping the wall. I don't know. I didn't think Kentucky had the Lady in Black logo anywhere around it. Did you see it on the track somewhere?
I didn't get that memo, but these guys are really pushing the limits, using every ounce of the racetrack here.
Yeah, definitely they're looking. And this is the newer of the iRacing Kentucky tracks. This is the newer of the 2. So, and that's why we have the different camera angles, which we appreciate from iRacing. Go back up to our leader here. He's definitely still paced out there. He's 0.9 roughly between him and Elliott Sadler.
You can see where Elliott's actually put a gap over Thornhill. Elliott's got what was that, a half second or a second to third?
Yeah, it was a second lap. Yeah, because it's a second in between. I'm showing the intervals right now, so that's actually a second in between the first, second, and third. And then you got the 27 and the 68 are near each other. About 2/10 gap between the third, and fourth place cars as we start looking through here. 15 laps is what we're on right now. Lap 15 of 125. Looking at that competition caution at lap 30, as we see sparks flying everywhere here in Kentucky. Kind of cool. It's nice tonight, though, right? Get to see all the sparks.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to see that if it was a day race. You can also see all the different shines on these great Wilder Graphix paint schemes, whether they're matte or if they're chrome or if they're metallic. You kind of see all their spec maps.
Definitely, you can see, like I said, the high shine. A lot of good job there by the Mass Graphix design team, and you know that Sweatless 17 is definitely one of those. A few other cars that have the Mass Graphix. As you can see, the Mass Graphix logo right there on the back of the 17 machine as it continues to pace our field here, 1 second in the lead. So you think with a veteran like Elliott Sadler in the back, do you think he's actually just sizing him up for later in the run, or maybe kind of watching him and seeing what he might be doing differently?
Again, when you have this kind of, he's got a second in front of him, a second behind him. He's probably saving a little bit of tire. He doesn't want to just race right up there to him. He might be waiting, or he might not have enough to go get him. Can't really tell. He's definitely sizing him up, watching where he's running on the track. You can see where he's running the high lane, middle lane. We'll see where the 17 runs this next lap. He might run the bottom next lap. You kind of watch what these guys are doing in front of you and see if they gain on you or not. And if
all the way down to the apron there at the stripe too. So they are using the whole track, like you were saying earlier, Andy, and that the low line is working a lot better than I thought it was going to.
No out of bounds. There's no out of bounds. This is not Daytona or Talladega.
Yeah, that's great. They do have race control here, which is great, so we do have an eye in the sky, keeping an eye on the whole track to make sure that everybody's abiding by the rules. We got Johnny Wollum, I hope I'm saying that right. Did not ask all these guys how to say their names before we started actually broadcasting, so. But I started going through the field here. We got Anthony up there in first place still. Elliott Sadler behind him in the number 99. Brandon Thornhill will be our third place driver. And we have a change now. Cameron just came over. Johnny just said I got his name right, so I'm happy. I got somebody right.
That's that bounty car coming from the back to the front. He's already up to fourth. It only took him 20 laps.
Wow, he's definitely, he's coming through.
We may need to call for giving him another black flag, put him in the back, see if he can do it again.
Yeah, great job. All right, guys. Dylan is our fifth place car, number 27. Hermie Sadler running in the number 6 position in the number 9 Sadler machine. 75 machine of Landon Quisenberry. Samuel Fontaine in the number 20 machine. I like that lime green. What do you think of that car?
It's bright. You can see it. You can see it anywhere. As my spotter would tell me, we need something bright on the car so we can see it. So
that's right.
Make it stand out from somebody else.
We got Michael Steffen in the 669 machine. He's currently in 9th, being harassed by the 91 of Aaron Hearn. And Aaron is our 10th place machine. 11th is the Leonard Frost machine, that number 11. Looks almost like a throwback machine at Money Lion, though. Trying to make a what looks like an Earnhardt design, right? DAI?
No. Austin Cindric. That's the current Team Penske design. That's
okay.
That's the car that Austin Cindric won the championship with last year.
Very good. See, I knew I brought you in here for a reason. The number 71 Trading Pace machine of Brianna Levin is now in 12th. Matthew Telder is in 13th in the number 22 machine. He's at 22 machine in that purple and blue, or light blue machine. Got Aaron Hearn backed up in the 13th in the number 91 Kleenex machine. Number 5 is in 14th position. That's Joseph Murata. Kind of digging that pink there that he's got on the side of that car. That purple to pink look. Kevin Anderson in number 81 machine, and that gold 81 paints on his numbers there. And Andy Briganti in the 24 machine.
He looks like he's struggling a little bit. He started third. He's back to 16th. He either used his tires up too soon and fell back, or he's trying to play some strategy. He's got some damage on the right side from brushing the wall, too.
Yeah, definitely some damage on that car. John Henry Allen in the 161 is currently the last car on the lead lap. We got two cars that are in the pits, Glenn Stout Jr. and Andrew Saucier. I'm not sure if Andrew even took any laps, considering he's showing 23 laps down. But Glenn Stout Jr. did in the number 158. He's 13 laps back. So that is a rundown. Oh, and while we were talking, we had a lead change. So I wonder what happened there. So while we were going around through the field, we had a lead change. Elliott Sadler now pacing the field, and everybody's gotten tight up here. What happened, Andy? What do you think?
About a lap and a half ago, Elliott Sadler saw it was about to be a caution flag here, and he decided to turn the afterburner on and go get him. He saw that 67 coming.
And the 67 is right there. Sparks off the 17 as we're coming down to the stripe. So Elliott Sadler, Cameron Hearn, and Anthony Giuliano and Brandon Thornhill are all up in here down in this front pack grouping. As you start to see them off the back stretch in the 1, 2, 3, 4. But they're all right together, 1 through 4. And then about a second and a half to the number 27 of Dylan Gones. So 1 through 4 all together. As we're on 26 of 125, we're going to go to a lap 30 will be our caution lap, and then we'll hear from some of our sponsors.
Yeah, going back a couple laps, we were talking about Elliott being a veteran and Xfinity driver and saving tires. He really must have been saving sitting there, just following Cameron. And like I said, he probably saw that 67 car coming and said he had to go. I'm kind of shocked that the 67 still has tires left on this thing, as hard as he's been driving up through here. As we see it look to the outside.
Yeah, he's definitely got the line down, and they did tell me to keep an eye out for the 67 machine. He is like unstoppable. So the man must really understand tire strategy as well as, you know, how to make the cars do what you want it to do. A lot of racetracks like this Kentucky Speedway are all the rhythm. You got to know when to get into the gas and when to let that throttle out to, you know, protect the tires and make the machine work for you instead of you sawing that wheel, is what we would normally say. So, as like I said, we can jump right in here. We'll take a look at how Cameron is actually on that wheel. We'll go over here on that left-hand side over there. Let's try to see if we can get a better shot for us here.
And see, just from this camera, you see where Cameron's turning in earlier than Elliott. So he's being a little harder on that right front. But he gets so much center off speed from it. That's where he's making up a lot of ground right now. So Elliott's probably being a little conservative running that half a groove higher, but he is blocking the bottom with that line.
And it sounds like somebody's been shifting. Hey, maybe that's how he's been able to get that car to come around quicker. As we're on with Cameron, let's see here, that number 67 machine.
Definitely not unheard of. You're out of the gas for so long in the middle of the corner here. Mm-hmm. The downshifting to get to up them revs. It's here in the comms, it looks like Cameron's going to stick a nose underneath here.
Yeah, it looks like we actually had a lead for past their change, and at 67 just kind of drove it underneath there as we were talking, and got to see that on the cockpit view. You got to see how Cameron was able to take that turn. But you were saying he was showing his nose to Elliott through quite a few turns there, and when he finally got that spot, he was able to take it, and Elliott running about a half a lane higher, as you were saying, in the turns. So we are now in our competition caution. So here we are, done the 30 laps of 125, and we're going to go hear from one of our other sponsors, from our butt kicker. And we're back, and tell you, man, Andy, the butt kicker. I've heard so many great things about it. I don't personally have one just yet. Hint, hint, butt kicker. But I heard that they actually can help you feel the car and the track a lot better. And I remember telling you when I got to the Fanatec CSL Elite that I was able to feel the track a lot better with my hands. So, what do you think?
I just like you said, I don't have one. I don't even have a nice wheel like that. But anything you can help feel the car with, it's going to help you on the racetrack.
Yeah, and, you know, you and I, we've dealt with quite a few professional race car drivers. I work with the Roush Esports guys, Joey Atterbury, Jack Roush Jr., Chris Busher. They all tell me the same thing, that the hardest thing for them to do from the real world to the iRacing world is feeling the car. They said it's like completely like they're sitting on nothing when they're so used to just feeling it from their seat, how that car is handling and how grippy they are on the track. So they said without that, it's definitely a challenge.
Lead change on the pits.
Oh yeah, I see. In the 16 is sitting there on the pits. I wonder if
that bright green car took the left the jack. Man, it take 2 tires there.
Yep, I think. Let's see, he had a pit stop of 27.3, and not sure why he was there a little bit longer. So was Anthony. So maybe they took the tires and nobody else did.
Generally, these cars are about 13-14 seconds. Probably fixing some optional right side damage from using that wall up.
Yeah, because there are quite a few 27 and back. Like, so 67, the 17, the 5, the 669, 75, 71. Those all seem like they repaired some damage. And looks like the 11 stayed out. Actually, he's now coming down now, so he wanted to stay out there and lead a lap. So Elliott Sadler's now our leader. He had a 14.3 pit stop, so as you're saying, they should have generally been able to take full fuel and 4 tires, correct?
Correct. That's about what a normal pit stop is for these Xfinity cars. Not as high-notch as the Cup cars. They do them at 12 to 13 seconds. So based on you saying that Elliott only had a 14-second stop, he probably didn't hit the wall at all.
Yeah, the car looked really clean. But like I said, I think he's, you know, what's the old saying say? If you want to finish first, you first have to finish, right?
I 100% agree.
So, you know, in iRacing, it's definitely the same way. You know, these cars, they will get beat up and they will take damage, and damage causes you to be slower. So if you want to win the race, you got to keep your equipment squared up and keep the shiny side up, as I say, and keep the brake pedal mashed down as much as you can.
And definitely got to keep the shiny side up.
Yeah, definitely keep the shiny side up, you know. Elliott knows a lot about being the upside down guy, though. You know, many times I remember watching, I think it was Talladega, where the M&M machine did a couple somersaults.
Yeah, 2 years ago on the back straightaway and the front straightaway.
Pace car has his lights off, so we will go green. Coming around here. So we're looking into turn 3. Turn 4, dive goes the pace car.
And they're going.
And then there they go. Number 68 is in second. Elliott Sadler gets a good jump off. Onto the back stretch. So that 27 machine is doing pretty good there in the 3rd position. That Dylan Gone, I think he was in the 5th when we took over the pits, so he was able to jump up too.
Yeah, he's been floating right on the top 5 the whole time. He took advantage of the 67 fixing some damage, and I think the 17 fixing some damage.
He had a good pit stop too. He had 14.3, so him and Elliott Sadler both were 14.3. Everybody else had a little longer than that. Elliott Sadler now settling in behind Samuel Fontaine in that 20 machine. We're all around the track here, so we got 65 will be our next competition caution. So we got 30 laps to go, and then we'll take it all the way to the end. Then we'll really get to see what they guys have learned over the time. Looks like it's getting kind of busy around Hermie.
Yeah, it's getting a little busy there. He's got a couple cars. Here comes the 67 back up through there, the 17. Hermie hasn't been able to fire off on the restarts yet. I don't know if he's missing the start or what's going on, but he gets capped by a couple cars, and then he gets back here racing in traffic.
Yeah, doing pretty good though right now. That 60, holding that 67 off as the 9 looks under the 27. Falling at 20, 67. It looks like the 67 about to push the number 9 through the 27 there.
Sometimes if that's the only option, when you run out of options, it's you might have to do that, but that's usually a short track thing.
And if Cannon is down below the 9, he's looking at Dylan Gomez here is under the 27. It's going to take 2 people in 1 turn. Now that's pretty darn good driving there by Cameron in that number 67 machine. Now he's sizing up the 20.
He's using those fresh tires to everything they're worth.
Yeah, he's got his eyes set on that number 99 machine. It's up there to the 20, clips the wall. And you see the whole grouping here, that 67 machine. So it looks like Elliott's off to a 1.3 second lead over the field in the number 99 machine. And then the rest of the group is sitting there from 68 in the second position all the way back to the 81 machine in 9th. They're all pretty much on a blanket there. So a lot of good driving going on. Nobody's actually brought out any caution. Our only caution has been a competition caution. As you see the 68 and the 67 side by side coming off turn number 1.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the 67 can run Elliott down here in this next run, because you said we got a caution, what, lap 65 coming? 65 is the next competition caution. So 67 down, looking under the 20 machine. Looks like the 20 is going to let him down there. Like I said, he's able to, I think he's downshifting in turns 3 and 4, allowing him to get to use that banking a little better than everyone else. And that might be one of the things that he's doing that's allowing him to pace the field as best as he can. Well, it actually won't hurt those tires because he's not scrubbing any speed off with the tires. He's doing it more with the transmission. So there's the 67 now in second place. So looking at leader number 99 of Elliott Sadler. Cameron here. Yeah, I was watching the splits. Even though these two are side by side, they gained 3/10 on Sadler here. Not sure if he hit the wall or if he's just trying to save and manage that gap already.
Yeah, Cameron is 1 second behind Elliott Sadler. It's at 0.8 seconds now. So our fastest lap is still at 71 machine, 31.247. 31.247. All right, going back to Elliott Sadler here. Elliott Sadler in the number 99 Exalta machine. I like that paint scheme. Not a real big fan of the rainbow colored Exalta cars. I kind of like this one a little better. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I'm much more of a fan of the old Rainbow Warriors car.
The old DuPont car, eh?
Yeah. This does look like it's an iRacing standard paint scheme.
Is it?
I do believe so.
In the 67 machine there of Cameron Hernan second. Samuel Fontaine in the number 20 machine is in third. Brandon Thornhill in that 68 over the top machine. I like that. It's kind of an older stock car feel, 2 colors.
Just real simple. Now, confirming what we've been talking about, I did just hear Elliott Sadler downshift.
And in Hermie Sadler, as you were saying, definitely an old throwback. Just one paint, one sponsor, and the number.
Not even a sponsor, it's just his last name.
Yeah, well, they own Sadler, owns quite a few truck stops and such, so it could technically be a sponsor. There's that number 27 machine of Dylan Gomez now in 6th. 75, Landon Quisenberry now in the 75 machine, that Burger King machine. And Anthony is in the 17, and now has made that pass on the 75 down low. Kevin Anderson in the 81 machine there is now up in the top 10, ninth position. Joseph Murado is in that number 5. 669 machine of Michael Steffen.
Lead's cut down to 1/10 now, Harold. The 67 has caught the 99.
There you go, jump right back up here too. The 67 machine is 2/10 back behind Elliott Sadler, looking low. Sadler getting down to that yellow line as well. Think he's going to leave it open this time, or is he going to keep going down lower?
I think at some point you got to start really fighting him for it, make him go to the high side. The low side looks better. Most of the passes have been done on the bottom. I think you got to hold the bottom, make him pass you on the top.
Yeah, definitely. There's the good shot of the backstretch of the first two cars. Cars 1 and 2 there, the 99 and the 67 machine.
And you can really see from that camera how hard the 67 drives into the corner to get right to the back bumper of that Toyota Supra Elliott Sadler.
And you see from the gearbox of the number 99 machine, you see where Cameron's going to go low.
He left it open for him.
And there he goes.
Now see, at this point, do you go push him and try to make him burn his stuff up to get him back? Or are you just sitting here watching him now?
65 will be our competition caution. So we got another 15 laps to go. Maybe trying to see what tire wear is, because, you know, you're going to have basically a pit stop, because they use 75% fuel in these cars. So we're most likely going to see a pit stop under the green, most likely. What do you think on that? Because we're going to be at halfway, a little bit over halfway.
Well, they went 30 the first run. They're going to go 35 this time. So they'll probably pit again under the yellow. And then
think they'll have enough fuel to the end?
Well, 65, that leaves what, 50 left? They may have to pit again.
That would be 70 laps, right? 65 to 125, or 60 laps?
60 laps. It'll be 60 laps. So you're probably going to have to pit under green at some point here.
Because it'll be 55 laps probably when they go green, because we'll have that yellow, we'll have the caution as well, time.
Then
we
should definitely see a pit stop right around 35 to 45 laps. So some people may try to stretch it, but probably not.
All right, so right now we're looking, Elliott Sadler is half the second behind Cameron Hearn. And Cameron Hearn, as we said, if he wins, he's giving $50 to our charity. And if he does not win, he's giving $100. Again, that was the Johnston ES Elementary School selling the paper hearts for a first grader in need of a heart transplant. Then Cameron says he's going to give $50 if he wins, $100 if he does not. And then I already heard that a couple of drivers, if he does win, we're going to help out as well. So if you want to check that out, it's on WRDW.com. The Johnston Elementary School selling paper hearts for a first grader in need of a heart transplant.
I don't know if we caught that, Harold, but the 67 hit the apron there on the front starting. Actually got loose going into turn 1.
No, it didn't lose a lot. If he didn't hear a little bit there. So we got Brandon Thornhill in the second group there. And Johnny Willems told me the admins have each donated $50 to the charity as well. So, Johnny, if you tell me how many admins that would help me out. Right now we're on 54 of 125. But that's race control in my ear helping me out, so I'm not messing things up. The Light Speed Racing League, One to Go Studios, we're proud to present this on the broadcast. I'm here with Andy Dunwoody, who's Black Magic Designs. He's helped me with my cars, and we're actually partners in endurance racing here. So we got Sebring coming up.
Yeah, we do. That's going to be a fun time. 12 hours of Sebring, 12 actual hours of Sebring. It's not like 12 simulated hours. It's going to start, we're looking at the 7 o'clock in the morning lobby to run until 7 o'clock at night that night. We got four drivers. It's us and the O'Briens. It's gonna be good. I think we got a good team with a good setup. We're gonna run that BMW prototype.
Yeah, the GT3, the BMW 4, and I was just giving, Johnny told me it's Johnny, Joseph, Anthony, and they all gave 50, so it's $150 plus whatever Cameron ends up giving, so $200 to $250 minimally going to the Johnston Elementary School from Light Speed Racing League. So this is pretty cool. These guys, you know, big hearts, you know, to help out that young kid who needs a heart transplant. It's pretty cool, these guys.
Definitely cool. It's a good cause. Something if you can help out, you really should.
Yeah, I've always thought it good. NASCAR drivers always getting into that thing. You know, I work with special needs kids myself, and one place gets in mind, the King and Victory Junction Camp. You know, the Junction Gang Camp out there in North Carolina, that they basically do sponsor a special needs camp for kids who need special equipment for summer camp. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, I did know about that.
And Kyle's big in that, and Adam Petty has a memorial there, you know, for him, the grandson of the king of there, Mr. Petty. Which Hermie Sadler in that number 9 machine, as he's currently holding the 7th spot. So with just, you know, a little bit more than halfway to go here, as we're finishing up 59 of 125, who's standing out to you as somebody that's that might have something up their sleeve? Because, you know, who's our dark horse?
Dark horse? I don't know if we can call him a dark horse. He does run the league. That 17 car, Anthony Giuliano. I think he's got more than he's showing. He's probably sitting back there. He got shuffled back on that restart. I think we'll see him work his way to the front over the next run. We only got 5 laps, 6 laps till the next caution.
Right, well, we have 5 laps to the competition caution. And I was about to say the same thing. I think that Anthony, you know, he did put the fastest time in, so we don't know he's got some speed in that car.
Yeah, we know he's fast. He might be saving it right now.
Yeah. Definitely need to, you know, what's kind of good with these competition cautions is kind of get an idea what the tires are doing, so that last stretch is going to be some really good racing. You know, we haven't had any actual cautions yet. We have had a lot of contact with their outside retaining wall, but nobody has been taking out another car for us. So a lot of good racing here tonight at Kentucky Speedway, as we're on 61 of 125, about 4 laps short of our next competition caution. Our leader is Cameron Hearn in the 67 machine, 1.2 seconds over Elliott Sadler. Definitely the man to beat tonight is that 67 machine. Definitely has it, like you talked about it, that looks like he's, you know, doing that shifting around the turns to help get that car, you know, to rotate through the turn. One thing about these Xfinity cars, they're so heavy and they're bricks, they don't like to turn. So you got to help them out in any way you can.
Definitely after this tires start to wear out, they don't want to turn. And a track like this is it's a cheese grater of a track. You'll start to watch these guys run up higher. Got a really good battle going on for 8th spot right now between Landon Quisenberry and Michael Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan there, like right there behind him, waiting for him to make a mistake. He's kind of looking on the outside corner panel of that Burger King machine. You know, every time I follow a Burger King machine, I'd be wanting a Whopper, so that's not cool. You know, I would not want that car in front of me. I'd be like, hey, time to get me a burger. I'm hungry.
I don't have that issue unless it's Sonic.
Unless it's a Sonic burger. Not big on Sonic. I like the BK, man. BK broilers. Man. Give me some Big King bacon. Yeah. Can you tell I've been doing too much dieting lately? I'm talking about burgers, you know.
Michael's gonna get him a Whopper in a second.
Yeah, Hermie Sadler up there in front of him there. He's lit there with the number 17, Anthony Giuliano there. I'm gonna get his name right one of these times. I talked to him earlier about getting tongue-tied sometimes. Figured out this, do some of those vocals things that was it Jamie, was that commercial with the insurance with Flo?
No clue.
No clue. That's one of them insurance companies, you know, and he did a whole bunch of them, and he's like, "We saved you time," or whatever.
Should be coming to the yellow here this time, Bob. We still have
Definitely
a
was.
3-car battle.
Kind of go back there to that number 975, the ninth place position. So 8, 9, and 10 all fighting for that next spot. See where they are at the competition caution. 65 is the lap we're on, so we will be coming to it here. Pat O'Brien talking about how he's met Hermie a few times at a kart racing track. Glad to have you on the broadcast watching us, Pat. Patrick O'Brien's one of our guys that's in our endurance team. We have competition caution out at lap 66. So we will let these guys stack it up, and we'll go to our commercial here. We'll be right back. And we're back. That Butt Kicker Gamer 2 connects to the bottom of an office chair, for all God's sake, you know? How cool would that be?
It looks like the perfect thing for anybody who wants to feel the racetrack underneath their buns.
Underneath their buns. And Matt's Graphix also, if you are looking for a new paint scheme, you know, since we got the new season, we just started the Daytona 500, so we just kicked off week number 1 for iRacing. So, you know, we're up on week 2 now. If you're looking for a new fresh paint scheme, go talk to those guys out there at Wilder Graphics on Facebook. You look them up and ask him to get you a new slicker look, man. And then he does cars, he does the helmets, does the pit crews, and the fire suits as well. So if anything you might need, you can just contact Anthony Giuliano over there at Wilder Graphics and let them know what you need. So between them and Butt Kicker, man, these guys have some pretty good sponsors at Lightspeed Racing League. This is our first broadcast with them and their Xfinity machines. Andy Dunwoody with me, Harold Darner, and One to Go Studios. If you just started tuning in with us, please give us a follow. We also have the USRLA, which is Andy's league, that's on Sunday nights. They do Legends and the Monte Carlo late model cars at short tracks and road courses, actually.
Yeah, that's a fun league. I did just announce the other day that we're going to be running a summer shootout series starting up in the end of May. It's going to be wheel and tour mods and big block, small block dirt modifieds. And
it looks like we're going to be coming to the green flag this as we start to look at the field off the backstretch. Your leader is Cameron Hearn. Outside of him is Elliott Sadler. We will be starting on lap 70 of 175, so 51 laps to the end. No more cautions given by race control unless we have some contact or something on the track happens. So far, it's been a really good night. These guys have been respectful of one another, so it'll be good to see how this goes. The pace car has dropped down underneath the apron. There's our leaders as we're high above the racetrack looking down onto the stripe. There goes the 67 as he takes it into turn number 1. Have a lead off of number 99 already of 2/10. Good jump there for the 67.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the race really starts right now. There's no more gift yellows. You're not looking towards a lap for a yellow. It's here to the end. You got to play the here to the end game. You got to look at your fuel mileage. You're going to try to short pit. You're going to pit late. You're going to try to stretch it the whole way. And how are you going to try to save tires the whole time?
Yeah, definitely starting to get busy about the 6th place car as we're looking at Dylan here in that 27 machine.
Got the 11 car on pit road.
Leonard Frost coming down pit road here as we're take a look here at what's going on here.
Not sure why that would be his second stop of the yellow. He stayed out, led a lap, and then went to pit road. It looks like he's pitting again. I'll keep an eye and let you know.
All right.
We got 22's around. 22 and 24.
All right. Well, we'll go back to try to find that for you. And we're going to back that up. The researchers are trying to look for where that was. And I think we have it loaded up here now. All right, we have the 24 inside of the 22 machine here. And there's our contact, the 24 into that left corner panel. Oh, and the number 91 is collected as well. So 24, 22, and the 91. So there's a little bit of contact that inside of that corner panel from the 24 to the 22 machine, Andy.
Yeah, that was a couple really hard hits there. Do we know if these guys have fast repairs to fix them up?
That would be something I would have to look at. Fast repairs are 0.
Oof.
So okay, that is not going to help. We see a 22 down on pit road right now.
It looked like it was just the 22 looked like he brushed the wall going down the back straightaway, which might have killed his speed down the back straightaway, which allowed that 24 to stick a nose in there. It kind of looked like he just didn't listen to his spotter and didn't know he was there.
Yep. Thank you, Race Control, for confirming no fast repairs. So that's definitely going to hurt the 22 machine there, as he's going to have to get some major tape coming out with those guys. 67 sitting there. Whoa, looks like Mr. Sadler, did he actually come down pit lane?
Looks like he put on 4 Mr. Feelgoods.
Yep, they did. Definitely him, Brandon Thornhill. So we have Sadler, Thornhill, Sadler, Hermie, Murato, Briganti, Telder, Hearn, and Leonard Frost, who's not a lap down, all were in pits. So we've got the top 9 on 5-lap older tires.
So what I'm looking at is you may see this be a...
They're coming down now.
Change of plans. I was going to say, this might be a strategy. You might be able to make it from here to the end on fuel.
Maybe.
So looks like some more of these guys are going to top off.
Well, the 67 looks like he's got a little bit of damage on the outside of that car.
Looks like the yellow was given to the 22 car. He's going to be sent to the rear.
Okay. Looks like the 20 of Samuel Fontaine is our new leader who stayed out. He stayed out there with a 75, a 71, and the 669. So 4 cars, 6-lap, older tires, and then the rest of the field, starting with Elliott Sadler, is the first ones that went down into the pits with new sets. Not sure if they got new sets of tires. 5 seconds looks like a splash and go. So I don't think they got feel goods there. Aaron Hearn was on pit lane for a minute, it says.
He was one of those cars in that accident.
Okay, and race control confirms that the car 22 was given an EOL for contact.
So I kind of like this strategy here, Harold. If you're not going to make it anyways, there's no sense in topping off. Stay out front, lead a lap, score some bonus points. But then I also like this if you can stretch it, because if you can stretch it, why not pit and try to stretch it? Especially if you got a fast car like the 67 of Cameron Hearn.
Yeah, Cameron Hearn definitely. And, I think that they waited, an extra lap. Maybe they're really close, so Hermie Sadler, Elliott Sadler, Brandon Thornhill, they went in immediately. But Cameron, Anthony, Dylan, Kevin Anderson, John Henry Allen, all those guys came in after, after an extra lap. So they have one extra lap of fuel to the good.
That one extra lap of fuel will be real nice when you have to say 1, 2, maybe 3 green light checkers.
Yeah, definitely. And I was incorrect. It's 70% fuel limit, not 75. And they were limited to 5 sets of tires.
That should be more than enough sets of tires, seeing as we haven't had many yellows. They probably only used 2 so far, so they should have 3 left.
And the 71 is blinking out a little bit as we see Elliott Sadler back out a little bit, setting one off track yet again. One of the unique things about internet racing is somebody can have connection issues, and if they're in the South, Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, any of those places, who knows right now. Oklahoma, as the lights are out, the 20 gets us going underway. Samuel Fontaine, your new leader, under green, going into turn number 1. The 71 continues to blink out on the inside line, being followed by Elliott Sadler, as we see the 75 now going high. 20 in the lead, 71 in second. Elliott Sadler looking for third underneath the 75 of Landon Husenberry. Now, Landon is the last car, like I said, that was on the stay out strategy, and Elliott Sadler is the first one who came in.
Yeah, but as you said, we don't think that Elliott Sadler took tires anywhere, sure. We think he just topped off with fuel.
Yeah, it was only a 5-second stop on his stop there. And nobody took anything more than that. So one car, the 161 of John Henry Allen, had a 14.4. Possibly he took tires.
And even with that one green flag lap, it's not really going to hurt those tires that much. They didn't even really get a heat cycle on them yet, so they're still nice and fresh. You see the 71 drop into the back here.
As that 20 machine is still leading the field with a half a second lead over the number 99, and then Landon 75 is still staying up there. So these guys on that are stayed out are not falling back too bad. And we're still waiting for the 67 machine to make his move up, because he did wait an extra lap. So there's a 67 underneath the number 5 right here, Joseph Murado.
So yeah, again, he's gonna have to wear his tires out trying to drive back up through these guys a third time tonight to get back to Elliott Sadler and the battle up front.
Yep.
So again, see if he manages tires, get back to the front, and then still win this race.
Okay, the 71 has been asked by race control to back up for internet issues. So it's really good to have, race control. Andy, you and I have run in many leagues. Having an actual person dedicated to race control is amazing. It cleans up the races. It makes the drivers be better drivers and more respectful of each other, because you always got somebody watching, and not the broadcasters, because we're looking at everything else. So it's nice to have somebody in there just worried about issuing penalties and such, like the real series, where you'd have a race control guy in every corner.
Yeah, that would be nice. It's nice to have that. We could be looking for one of those. It would definitely help racing out. It cleans everything up, like you said.
Oh yeah, the drivers know that somebody's watching. And it's not up to the interpretation from guys on the track. So we have a disinterested third party that's making decisions, right?
Yeah, it's very fair, fair, fair and clean and clear.
Looking here, it's like I said, these guys now they're much closer to each other. Third all the way back to eighth position, all together.
Like we said, it's go time. Now you got to stay at the front. If you're gonna stay at the front, you got to stay at the front. You're not. You gotta use those tires up. You got one more pit stop, one more money stop to either stay at the front or lose a bunch of spots. So you got to make a good, clean pit road entry and try not to lose any time.
Yeah, we have that sweatless 17 machine there, Anthony. He's following the 67 around. So I wonder if those guys are teammates. Like I said, you and I, we haven't been around long enough to know, what these guys are doing. But it's sure, if he's not a teammate, he's sure going to school watching camera and get around this track.
And kind of sometimes that's where you want to be. You want to follow the fast guy because the fast guys can get some of these guys to move out of the way, and you can just slip through behind them.
And the 67 is putting it to the 68 machine of Brandon Thornhill. He's like, I am here. It's almost a hand wave in the mirror, like, dude, I'm here.
Remember me?
Yeah, that's one thing I wonder if they would ever come up with something in iRacing to allow us to stick our hands out the window, because it's like, communicating with the guy behind us could be helpful sometimes.
For pit road's sake, yes. Hand out the window, yes. But for what I would use it for, I don't know if iRacing would like that.
I didn't say being able to use all your fingers, okay? Only certain gestures so we keep it clean.
I know one gesture I would use.
The 67 there underneath that 68 machine as they're coming up to the stripe here, completing lap 85 of 125.
The 20 car is really stretched out over Elliott Sadler here again, up to a second lead. I don't know if Elliott's saving tires, just sitting there watching him, or waiting for the 67 to drive up here for him.
They're definitely, like I said, that 20's got a nice lead, checked out, 9/10 ahead. And then Elliott Sadler back there, and then they're kind of close together all the way back to 8th, where Dylan Gomez and the 27 machine is in the back of the top 8 pack here, 2 through 8. And then we got a big back to the number 5 machine. Not sure what happened to him because he was actually in that group fighting. Now he's about a good almost 2 seconds off of the 27 machine. So let's go through the top here. Let's go through our lineup. Is Samuel Fontaine, and the number 20 machine is currently your race leader, followed by Elliott Sadler in the number 99 machine. Landon Quisenberry in the Burger King 75 is in 3rd. Number 67, he is in 4th, and that's Cameron Hearn. He's what we have the bounty out for. Michael Steffen in the 669 in 5th. 6th position, the 68 of Brandon Thornhill. 17th is Anthony Giuliano. Number 27 in 8th position, that's Dylan Gomez. In the number 9 position, in the number 5 car, Joseph Murata. And Kevin Anderson in the 81 machine is in 10th. Hermie Sadler in the number 9 machine is 11th. Brianna 11 in 12th in the 71. John Henry Allen in the 161 is a 13th. Aaron Hearn in the number 91 machine is 14th. In the 15th position is that number 22 machine with the heavy damage. And Leonard Frost in 11th. We're still not sure how he got a lap down, Andy, but he does seem to have his car completely intact at least. And then the number 24 machine is on pit road, 16 laps down, still being repaired. Probably has some engine trouble with that SimCube machine, as it looks like he's jumped back into the car.
Yeah, that was a quite hard hit to him and the 22 had down there in 3 and 4.
And then he's going back out on the track.
Rolling now.
They're going to try to get some pace, some laps back in here to at least see somebody else get down and points racing sometimes come into play. Number 20 is being hunted now by Elias Sadler. Elias within 0.3 tenths behind him, and he's bringing the whole field with him. So if you're the 20, that rearview mirror is starting to get full of lots of colors.
Again, I'm going to go back to saying I don't know if Elliott was saving, waiting for Cameron, and he sees Cameron's now up to third. It's time to go. But we're getting down to just under 30 to go, right around 30 laps to go. So pit road, I think, is going to get busy here soon.
Yeah, the number 20 machine is your race leader. He's on 23 lap tires, and Elias Sadler's on 18, and Cameron Hearn is on 17 lap tires. So definitely 3 different strategies in the front 3 cars.
Hearing some radio chatter, we got a car headed for pit road this time. I believe it's a 68 of Brandon Thornhill.
And he had a couple other guys go with him. It looks like Dylan is in there with him. So we do have people on pit lane. So we are hitting the pit cycle. So as we were talking, it definitely would need a pit strategy. It looks like he's taking tires, both guys, at least outside rights.
And going back to this is the money stop. You got to make a good stop here to
all 4. So
make a clean entry on the pit road and a clean fast exit off pit road to not lose 2-3 laps here. And maybe you can leapfrog these guys by pitting a lap early, because now you're on the freshest tires. You can go as fast as you can for a couple laps while these guys are still on old stuff.
Yeah, we're in the nose cam of Elias Sadler, number 99 machine. Number 20 said, make some money. You see that bumper? Make some money moves. In the number 20 machine of Samuel Fontaine, he's been making some money moves so far. He's had the right strategy to be in the lead here in that Camaro.
Going back to playing that strategy, he didn't pit at that yellow we had. They put him out front. Now he's holding off Elliott Sadler. Yeah, he's just going to make a good pit stop here.
Yep, very interesting to see how pit strategies roll into play here. We're on lap 94 of 125. So we're about 31 laps remaining in the event. So they're going to try to split the... If Samuel Fontaine is going to try to split it, he's going to be coming down in the next couple laps. And that would be the 75 and the 669 as well. If they were trying to split it, they'd be coming in soon. But Elias Sadler's on 22 lap tires. Cameron Hearn behind him in 21 lap tires. And then Anthony Giuliano and Kevin Anderson are also on 21 lap tires.
And nothing says you have to split it. You don't have to go 20 laps to 20 laps. You can go 30, 35 laps and pit for a splash.
Yep, every driver has a different way of doing things. There's a 67 down and just drove right by the number 99 machine of Elliott Sadler like he wasn't even there. That was a big time pass.
It might have just let him go, knowing he's either going to pit road soon or just let him go so you can let him go burn his tires up.
Well, look at the 67 right there along that yellow line. Up and under the 20, he's looking for that lead. The 20 is high, and the 67 down low as we come out of turn number 4 to the stripe. 20 is still running the lead. 67 right there on his bumper. 67 looking low. The 20s can't seem to get but the mid-groove and high. So the 67 definitely has that inside advantage as he's rolling by the 20 machine.
But the 20 car gets that slingshot down the straight right on the top. You can see the 67 should clear him this time. Be able to slide up in front of him.
Yeah, it looks like the 67 definitely has the line now. So back in the lead, the number 67 of Cameron Hearn in the lead as we have completed 97 of 125.
A couple more cars going to pit road, the 75, the 71. And it sounds like somebody else is going to go pit road too.
There's a 71 machine coming down pit road as pit road's getting busy. Green flag, pit stops. They're in the middle. We're at 98 of 125. 27 laps remaining in the event. The number 71 stops at the pit stall. Looks like 4 tire change for the 71. 75 out on the track here. Just got back on the track. 14.6 second change there. Samuel Fontaine is coming down pit lane at this point.
The 67's with him. The 17's coming. I hear a lot of radio chatter about pit road entry.
And the 67 is coming down pit lane, as you said. We'll kind of get an idea how these guys do on their final pit stop. 25 laps remaining in the event as we're on lap 100. 26 laps remaining.
This is where it becomes a strategy. How long do you stay out? You know the fast guys on pit road now. Sounds like Elliott Sadler might be coming this time or next time.
4 tire stop for the 67 machine, and he's back off. 14.4 was his pit, so almost perfect. 14.3 seems to be the time for 4 tires and fuel. So yeah, Elliott Sadler in the lead.
And there's only a couple of variables that can change that. It's whether you're straight in your box, whether you're too far up in your box. That can actually change your pit stop.
Yeah, and also how close to the jack man that you got, because if you're not directly there, they got to move slightly. That can slow you down. So if you got to hit that mark exactly to make it perfect, hit that pit board right at that sign, not too far forward, not too far back.
Now we see both Sadlers are staying out, leading here. They're gonna looks like probably stretch until it's empty. They put quite a few cars a lap down. Aaron Hearn had all that damage. He's probably on the same strategy here of staying out.
Yeah, Aaron Hearn is on 28 lap tires. First car that's the 68 machine, who is a lap down. He's on 10 lap tires. The first one who's on Freshies is the number 20 machine in 6th position right now.
Interesting to see it here. The 20 actually passed the 67 on pit exit, because the 67 had gotten around the 20, and either the 20 had a better pit stop and got by him, or he passed him right after leaving pit road. So now the 67 actually has to pass the 20 car again.
The 20 car has a 10-second stop. That's a 2-tire change. So very interesting strategy on the 20 machine.
What did the 67? You said the 67 had a 14-second stop?
14.4, yep.
So the 67's already run him down on 4 tires.
Right.
So you can really see the difference in 4 tires versus 2, but that will help the 20 gain some spots here just by taking 2. He's going to leapfrog all these guys who took 4.
There's the 67 down low beneath the 20. These guys are a lap down since Elliott Sadler has elected to stay out. And Elliott Sadler is our race leader. Currently 17 seconds ahead of the second place machine, the number 9 of Hermie Sandler, and Aaron Hearn, number 91. Everyone else is coming around trying to get their last back, as the 20 and the 67 are trying to get their last back at this point, and they have. So the 20 and 67 are now on the lead lap.
And look how hectic it is for Elliott here. He's got to stay out of everybody's way, not get run over, because looks like he's going to try to stretch it the whole way here. Because he's just letting these guys mosey on by. If he was going to pit, I think he would have. 20
laps remaining, so, I mean, he could be looking at waiting for a caution, or maybe he does have enough fuel. I did not have a gauge about what kind of fuel we're looking at.
And 1 lap, that's, what we're looking at, 31 seconds? So he's got 31 seconds of the 67 car. We got to see if the 67 can catch him, the 67 and the 20. Because you said they're the first 2 cars on fresh tires, and they're way back.
They're right now 2 seconds a lap faster.
So that's should be catching with about 5 or 10 to go then, if he doesn't pit.
Correct. So we'll see, and by then they're juice off of their tires too. So at that point,
the 91 with a big slide coming out of turn 1.
Yeah. The number 99 continues to be our race leader. And it looks like the 5 and the 17 are coming to make the pass around the number 99. We get back on the lead lap. The 17's looking for that. 5 is actually 2 laps down, so he's looking for 1 of his laps back. The 5 goes low. The 71 tucks in behind number 99 and goes down as well, down low behind over the 99 machine. 99 laps was a 33.362. and Cameron was a 31.7. So about 1.6 seconds is the gap in each lap between Elliott Sadler and Cameron Hearn. And Samuel Fontaine is there with them too. So these are our first two guys that are on fresher tires. So they're in third and fourth on the ticker. And then we have our first place car is Elliott Sadler. And then Hermie Sadler is about 19 seconds now behind, about a whole half a lap.
Yeah, a little more than a half a lap, but he looks to be on the same strategy here, saving tires. But you see he has a 6-second lead over Samuel Fontaine and Cameron Hearn.
Yep. Cameron Hearn's now made that pass around the 20. So he is the first car that has the fresh set of tires. We know he took 4 tires and fuel, so he's good to the end. The big question is, do the Sadlers have enough fuel to get 15 more laps out of their car?
It's going to be close. I'm kind of interested to see how hard the 67 runs to try to run them down.
So,
if he does catch him, he's going to drive right by him.
We need Larry McReynolds, and he's got the tail of the tape. You know, did you not talk to him before this race?
I didn't get Larry's trends. He just said watch for the last caution within the last 15 laps. He says that every week.
Every race. Late lap cautions. Cautions breed cautions. Boogity, 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 right?
That's DW.
That's what he says all the time, though. Cautions breed cautions, guys. All right, let's go back up to our race leader, Elliott Sadler. He has completed 110 laps as he's on 111. So 15 laps remaining for the race leader, Elliott Sadler. Behind him, about 20 seconds, is Hermie Sadler. Behind them is 3.5 seconds is the 67 machine of Cameron Hearn. Samuel Fontaine in that 20 machine is in 4th. In 68 machines in 5th, Brandon Thornhill. Dylan Goen is in a 27, is charging up there looking for the 5th position, currently in 6th. Our 75 Burger King machine, Landon Quisenberry, is in 7th. 17th of Anthony Giuliano. The 17 machine is in 8th position. Michael Steffen in the 669 is in 9th. In 10th is Kevin Anderson. The number 71, Brown 11, is in 11th machine in the Trading Pace machine. Leonard Frost now in 12th in that 11 machine. John Henry Allen in the 161 is 13th. Aaron Hearn, 2 laps down, is in the 91, coming down pit lane currently. Joseph Murata is in the number 5 in 15th. Matthew Tilder on pit lane in at number 22. And Andy Briganti in the 24 machine coming down pit lane is in 17th. Number 158 of Glenn Stout Jr. is out of the race in 18th. And that is our rundown.
So everybody's pitted except the 99 and the 9. They're on the same strategy. The 91 was on the same strategy, but yet now he's pitted. So can they make it on fuel? What do you think, Harold?
I did not go and look, and I did not ask the drivers about their fuel. But knowing the type of driver that's out there, he's making a gamble that he can make it. Either that they're gonna have a caution and he makes it that way, or that he can actually make it.
We're at 10 to go, and Cameron just passed Hermie. So Cameron still has to go 17 seconds. There's only 10 to go. He's got to make
10 to go, 17-second lead. Elliott Sadler, 17.5, and he is actually right now 1.5 seconds faster than Elliott.
So
15 seconds
numbers, he's
is
not
left.
Make it.
Yep, 15 seconds is what he'll actually make up, and he'll be short. So does Elliott Sadler collect the bounty? It's like, we'll see. So 9 laps to go.
Fuel. Now it's fuel.
It's all about fuel, right? Yeah.
Cameron's got to go hard just in case he runs out. But Cameron's also got to make sure he makes it to the end.
Correct. So Elliott Sadler, 15.95 seconds over the number 67 machine of Cameron Hearn. As the number 11 machines looks like he's going down below the 67 machine. He might have fresher tires. Looks like here Leonard has brand new tires, so he may be looking to go underneath the 67 to go around him. Or maybe he thinks better of it and just kind of stays back, but he does have fresher tires. 17 lap tires that Cameron has, and Elliott Sadler's at 44 laps on his, 45 now.
And after this many laps, these tires do start to balance out. Elliott's probably at the point where his tires aren't going to get any worse, but they're not going to get any better. Cameron's, they're still pretty good.
So we're 8 laps remaining in the race here, with Elliott Sadler's lead 14.5 seconds. Very interesting strategy. See if it could play out. Does Sadler have the pit box king on there telling him the strategy to take him to the lead? Or does Cameron just have to be patient and make sure we go green to the end to make his final chance to take his first place position? So only the winding laps are going to let us know. We're 6 laps to remaining in the event. 6 laps to go. Elliott Sadler, the leader, 13.5 seconds back to the 67 machine of Cameron Hearn.
Now, we were talking about these guys shifting earlier. I bet you they're not shifting. They may even be riding the clutch right now, the 99 and the 9. You might go in car with them and see that they're riding the clutch to save fuel here.
Sure sounds like the clutch. As
you can even see it there on the tack. The tack goes all the way down to $3,000 and then jumps back up to 6. So he's actually rolling the corners to save fuel. He's going to be real close.
Well, he is. Wow. He's like basically just letting that car coast through the corners.
That was halfway down the back straightaway, Harold. He's out of the gas halfway down the back straightaway. He's giving up time. Oh, he's coming back.
He doesn't like he's got any gas. That might be what it is. He was actually running out of fuel.
Oh, that's heartbreak.
Oh, I wonder if he's got enough to get back, as we came into his just at that point. You can't say the broadcaster's curse because it was already happening.
There's your lead change. The 67 and the 20 now assume the lead, and Cameron is gone.
Cameron back to the lead, 5 to go. So we just got our answer. You can't go, but what, 46 laps it looks like.
46 to 48 laps on gas. Probably about it.
So Cameron, race leader by 3.5 seconds over the number 20 machine of Samuel Fontaine. So right now that 67 machine, that bounty looks like it may not pay off today.
That means Anthony will be paying then.
I guess so. We'll have to ask them those questions once we get back. Here comes this. Elliott Sadler. Sometimes I get so tongue-tied. Sadler 1 and Sadler 2, right? No.
Quit thinking about all the snow we're getting tonight.
Hey, I still have to go to work tomorrow, apparently. So we'll see.
So do I.
Well, they're telling us in Baltimore not to be on the road, so much for that. 3 to go here. Cameron Hearn is your race leader.
Cameron's just at this point cruising. He's going to let everybody go by that has to go by, and he has to watch that 20 car out the rearview mirror and make sure he doesn't get much closer.
There's that 67 machine. Like you said, 2 to go. 2 laps to go.
And he's still running right around the bottom. He's been right around the bottom the whole race. Never seen him run the high side, nothing. We thought this was going to be a racetrack for right around the fence.
Yep. Definitely pretty good here. If they're showing it in practice, they're going to be right up along the wall and then come out to race event. Nope. Final lap. The white flag is in the air. 1 to go for Cameron Hearn. So as he hits the backstretch here, 2 turns to the end. Here's our race leader coming to the checkered flag is in the air. Coming out of 4 here, we can see that the flag man is on with the 67. Flag man, the checkered flag up high in the sky. Here we go, number 67, Cameron Hearn. He'll be giving $50 to the charity to help out the paper hearts for the heart transplant. Good job there, Cameron Hearn. As we see the fireworks off in the distance. Shimmy and shake down that backstretch there, Cameron. You earned it. Don't lose it, though. They might want to take
plenty of gas for burnout.
They might want to see. They might want to take some pictures with it all being together still. So let's not wipe it out there. All right, let's go through our final results. Cameron Hearn is our race leader and winner. Samuel Fontaine second in the number 20 machine. Brandon Thornhill in the 68. Dylan Goins in the 14th and 27 and 4th. Anthony Giuliano 17 and 5th. 75 in 6th of Landon Quisenberry. The 81 Kevin Anderson in 7th. And 8th was 669 of Michael Steffen. Then 9th place to 71 of Brianna Lavin. 99 in 10th of Elliott Sadler. And 11th was John Henry Allen, 161. 12th place, Leonard Frost in that 11 machine. Aaron Hearn, number 91, was 13th. And the number 9 of Hermie Sandler was in 14th. 15th position, number 5 of Joseph Murata. And the 16th, number 24, Andy Brigante. The 17th place was the 22 of Matthew Tilder. 18th was 158 of Glenn Stout Jr. 19th was 97 of Andrew Saucier. And that was provided to you by Wilder Graphix. We'll see if we can start getting some of these guys in here talking about what was going on during the race. That was pretty good racing by these guys. Only 2 cautions, both of them competition cautions. So, Andy, what do you think, man?
It made for a good race. You like to see when strategy plays out. It makes it a nice race. You don't have to hope for a caution or nothing. It becomes a race.
Okay, see here, we can get some drivers in here. Trying to see who else we can get here. All right, we'll go with these 2 here. We'll start off with Anthony.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Anthony, it's Harold and Andy in the booth, man. How was that event, man? You guys, we were pulling for you. You took up a top 5. We thought you had something left in the tank. What was going on tonight?
That was a lot of fun at the end. We kind of tried to burn the stuff up early to see what the car would do on that first run. Got out to a pretty good lead, and then started drifting back. And I think I got a little wall damage coming out of 4 right before that first competition caution. So after that, car just did not act right like it did at the beginning of the race. So couldn't drive it as hard as I wanted to. Awesome battle with Dylan right there at the end. I thought I was going to be able to get around Dylan and Thornhill, but he's a hell of a wheel man. I gave him a little bump coming out of 2, and he hung on to it. So it was a lot of fun with going out with those guys. They had a great strategy. Sadler guys, looks like they tried to make it on gas, and just it's kind of cool to see everybody's different strategy and get around this track.
Oh yeah, you guys put on a heck of a show here. Your Lite Speed Racing League, you guys. 2 cautions, both were competition cautions. Lots of strategy on pit road. You guys had us all guessing. Andy and I, we're racers ourselves, iRacing, and you guys have 70%. We're doing the calculations up in the booth, trying to figure out, is there enough? So we're thinking the Sadlers, they've been on the racetrack for most of their lives, so that they might have known something we didn't.
Yeah, no, I definitely put some strategy in it. I think we ended up with around 37 to 39 laps of fuel in the tank after pit stop. So everybody was, topping off there at the end, and they're making their strategies and kind of, laying their bed. But I saw Brandon and Dylan come in early. I knew what they were trying to do, but yeah, it was fun. It's just hard to catch that top car. That 67 car is fast, man. Doesn't matter where we go.
Oh yeah, he definitely had the strategy, and he showed you. He told me going into this that you guys that 67 was definitely going to be the car to beat. But Race Control was telling me that all of your admins put together $50 each for the Johnston Elementary School's paper hearts for the first grader, and so you guys want to talk anything about that before I let you go?
Yeah, so actually it was $50 total because we don't have that much in the tank. But yeah, actually Cameron put that up on our feed, so we put a $50 bounty on his head to see if anybody could come out here and win and beat him. Since nobody was able to do that, we're going to put that $50 towards that program the elementary school kids started. Another classmate of theirs at the elementary school needed a heart transplant, and once they found out, they started cutting out paper hearts and selling them, trying to raise money. So now it's a pretty big donation deal going on, and I think a bunch of us are going to chip in here tonight after hearing the story. It's pretty touching, so glad we could help, glad we can contribute. Hopefully we can be a small help and a small part of what happens there.
That's great, guys. And we're gonna try to grab a hold of Cameron here and put him up here. And Anthony, is there anybody else you want to thank before we let you out of here?
Oh man, thank you guys for doing the broadcast. It was awesome. I was hearing great things all through the race. Just a lot of fun to come out here with this group of guys, Joseph and Johnny for helping out with the admin, all the racers. Like thank my wife Jennifer. She lets me come out here and puts up with me sitting in this sim rig for as long as I do. So gotta say thanks to her. But yeah, that's my new sponsor, Sweat Less. Want to give a shout out to Reggie Young and Sweat Less Group and Dry Towel for sponsoring both of our cars for me and Kevin Winter for both series.
Yeah, I definitely saw that on your car. We mentioned it a few times there, and also Wilder Graphix, and you guys have been doing a pretty good job, and we look forward to seeing more of you guys on One to Go Studio. So,
yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem, man.
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Cameron, you're in the booth with Andy and Harold with One to Go Studios, man. One heck of a race from your perspective. What did you have that no one else did? Because you were a class act tonight.
Definitely tire wear. Messed up in qualifying. Started in the rear. Got a little bit of right front damage, but it didn't really affect the car too much. And just I was running a lot different line than a lot of people in 3 and 4, and just kind of keeping the car low and just saving that right front. I think that was the key. As longer the run went on, the faster I kind of got compared to the rest of the field.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like you were hugging the bottom and everybody else was coming up 1 to 2 car lengths up 3 and 4. So you definitely had something for all these guys. And, we were up here looking and watching and like, man, is he tearing up his tires coming through the field? Because you were making 2 and 3 passes sometimes in some of the turns.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it's pretty cool to be able to race like that and race hard and around these guys without them causing or me causing anything or getting into them and vice versa. So I think that speaks fine to talent in the league, and it was a lot of fun out there tonight.
Okay, cool, man. Like I said, we were watching, and we were also, we were doing math on fingers and toes when we were looking at the saddlers out there about fuel. Because we're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, man, unless they found something I don't know about. Because I was clutching and everything at the beginning of that run, and I was probably about 4 or 5 laps short. So I was like, unless somebody's pushing them down the straightaway, they didn't have enough. But Elliott definitely worried me a little bit, but I was glad to see him come down the pits.
Yeah, it was funny because we just went to his in-car view to see how much he was clutching, and he was running out of gas.
Yeah.
We're like, because I'm like, man, he's clutching the whole thing, and Andy was even saying something to the point. Andy, you said he started clutching the backstretch, right?
Yeah, we've seen him clutching the backstretch. I brought it up when we saw that you were actually downshifted in the third, in the middle of turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, I wasn't actually doing that until I caught Elliott in the first run, and I heard him doing it. So I started trying it, and I actually learned a little something, and it actually helped definitely carry the momentum throughout the turn. But I think that if you did that from the get-go, that beginning of the run, it definitely would kill your right front a little bit more. And I don't know if Elliott was doing it the whole run, but I tried not to do it the first 15 laps and then start doing it as the run went on, where I think he shifted the whole time. And I think that's kind of why his right front kind of wore out a little bit faster.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, This is our first broadcast with you guys at One to Go Studios. We're glad that you guys brought us on. Andy is we work together quite a bit for his league in USRLA and on Sunday nights. But we really like we come to this with you guys at Light Speed Racing League, and the first thing we notice is you guys are going to give a donation out to these young kids, Johnston Elementary School first graders.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of close to home where I'm from. His name's Lemire, and he's waiting on a heart transplant. So if you donate some money, you get a heart hung up around the school, and the school's involved down there. And young kid going through a lot, so every little bit helps. But I appreciate that shout out. And I know there was a bounty on me to win. Well, if I didn't win, whoever beat me or came in first would get the $50. So I said if I'd win, I'd donate the $50. To Lemire and his school, and I think it's a good cause. We're also involved with families fighting flu, which is another good example. So the league's involved in a lot of great things, and that's one of the reasons why I show up week in and week out.
Yeah, you guys also put on a great show. 2 competition cautions, 1 caution from drivers for a 125 lap race at a very difficult track. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. The track looks so wide from the cameras, but when you're on the racetrack, that wall comes up so fast.
Yeah, it definitely can sneak up on you. Even on the dog leg, it's a wide front stretch, but it kind of narrows out going to turn 1, and it's hard to kind of not just get zoned out and just get into the wall. But it's a fun track, and racing that night, there's a lot of grip, so it was just a fun night.
It was a great broadcast. I mean, I was talking to Andy. I thought it was almost, like you're going to give Kentucky's new name the Lady in Black 2 because of the amount of stripes that we were seeing people sparking off of the outside retaining wall.
Yeah, that's true. I could see sparks flying in the distance throughout the night, so I knew there was a lot of that going on.
But is there anybody you want to thank while we got you up here in the booth? In 67, you guys drove from the back to the front 3 different stints, right, Andy?
Yeah, I saw him do it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I had some damage on the second one, so I was fixing that. But I think the last one I started near the front, so that kind of helped out a lot. But just overall, a great night. I appreciate you guys doing the broadcast. All the guys that show up week in and week out. I want to thank, I got a new sponsor tonight, Plan B and Circle B. They make die-cast cars and sell a ton of NASCAR figurines and autographs and T-shirts, so be sure to check them out. Also want to thank my new team, CG Performance and Development. Just looking forward to some exciting things to come, and I'm glad to start out with a win tonight.
Awesome. That's a great job, man. Appreciate you coming out, and we're gonna try to see if we can get a hold of Mr. Thornhill and see what he was thinking for a 3rd place finish. But then, great job again tonight. Appreciate your help for the Johnston Elementary School. It's cool that what they're doing is young kids getting involved and helping out other people. It's good to see people taking care of each other as we're going around this head. And appreciate you being on your camera. And we'll probably talking to you again, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and hopefully we become make this a regular thing. But I also want to give a shout to my mom and dad watching, Aaron racing tonight. John Allen out here, my cousin, got him his first race, and he stayed out of trouble, so give a shout to him. My wife allowed me to do this a few nights a week. I told her it'd be only once or twice, but it's hard not to do it more than that. And just again, you guys for the broadcast. I'm looking forward to it. I've already got texts from friends and stuff saying that everything looked great, so I appreciate it.
Oh, cool. Appreciate it. I'm glad you guys liked what we're doing. I've already gotten the admin saying we're doing a pretty good job. We try to. I said I really appreciate my co guy up here, my co-booth man, and Andy. He helps me out with a lot of color commentary, but definitely be hearing from you again. We'll let you go, Cameron. You have a good night.
Thank you, guys. You too.
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved to your channel.
And we're going to see, are we with Mr. Thornhill? Are you with us?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Yeah, we heard that you had to take a step into the camper. We just want to make sure that we had you before we started talking about you. 3rd place finish, man. What can you tell us about the last few laps?
Man, we were just trying to play, me and Dilly was trying to play a little bit of fuel strategy on them, and I'll try to see if we could hold them off at the end. And I think if we just waited just a little bit more, we probably would have been all right. But
Yeah,
They kind of caught up with us in the end, but we still advanced, so I'm happy with that.
third place, man. You know, we talked to Cameron, and we've already talked to Anthony. It's like, did you know, did you guys sweat a little bit, because we were like counting on fingers and toes and stuff about, you know, how many laps the Sadlers could go. You know, like do they know something we don't know?
Well, we run another league with them, and they're really, really, especially Hermie, man. Hermie's amazing when it comes to saving fuel. So I had a feeling that's what he was going to do, but whenever I started checking the fuel after we darted in that last stop, I knew there was no way we were going to save enough. So that's why I went on ahead and just started planning on short pitting after that. But yeah, no, they're both of them really good at saving fuel anywhere we go.
I'm pretty sure. It's funny how you say saving fuel and the Sadlers. They've got a lot of my money with my trips up and down I-95, considering I stop at Sadlers on I-95 exit number 4. There's a Sadlers, and it's pretty cool. My daughter loves, you know, all these times she's like, we're going to see the race cars, because there's 3 of Elliot's cars. The M&M machine, the City, I think it's Citibank is another one, and trying to remember the other one is a number 1 car, I think. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to go by, and they've had a lot of my money in fuel. So shout out to the Sadlers, and it's kind of cool seeing some NASCAR drivers out there with you guys mixing it up. You guys put on a heck of a show tonight. 3 cautions, 2 were competition cautions. 1 was some incidental contact between 2 race cars. Is that something normal out here? He says we are new to light speed.
Yeah. I'm really happy to see, you know, how Anthony and, you know, those guys have kind of taken everything and made it what it is. So they're doing a good job with it. And it's ever since day one, it's kind of been that way. That was one thing that we prided ourselves on, and I'll kind of step back from it, and they pride themselves on. And I'm happy to see it, you know, doing what it's doing. So yeah, it is a normal thing.
Well, it's definitely having the eyes in the sky. It definitely helps. We talk about it. We both, Andy and I, who's in the booth with me here, you know, we've run leagues, and having race control is definitely a good thing to have. So that you have 1 person or 2 people dedicated to, you know, assessing penalties on the flies and real events. Makes drivers really, you know, follow the rules and race each other respectfully, and then you get good runs, good races. I mean, you guys went from, was it 69 to the end, right, Andy?
It's 69 to 125, no yellows, or 1 yellow.
No, there was no yellows. That yellow was before. The 222 and 24 was before that, wasn't it?
It was right around 70.
Or was it 70? Okay. Yeah, I thought that was a competition caution, but I could be wrong. I'll have to look at it again. But Mr. Thornhill, you know, I see over the top. Is that your guys' paint?
Yeah, that's the team I'm on. It's for Overtop Designs. That's a guy, Mr. John Hedrick. He sponsors me. He owns one of the other leagues that I race in, and he does all my paint jobs and everything for me. So he's a good guy. He's got contacts with Bruzy, and also we welcome Ray's energy drink onto the team and everything. So if you ever want to go get some stuff from them, you use my promo code 68 Speedway, and you'll get a 15% discount. And they got some pretty good stuff. So
cool. See, is there any other sponsors you want to thank for over here?
I think we're good, man.
I think you got them all right. Yeah, that's you know, that's always one of the funniest things. You know, there's a few NASCAR guys that I get to talk to is when I work with the Roush guys, and you know, Chris Buescher and I had talked about it. I said, man, how do you remember all those sponsors? The thing, he goes, it takes a lot of practice. Like,
Well, you just look at your fire suit, right?
yeah,
All
well,
right there.
well, he's like, usually, well, we got one on your hat. He's like, use the first thing, and then you're drinking something that helps you know the other one. I was like, pretty cool. He's like, what am I drinking? Okay, it's a Coke, right? Yeah,
like Freddie
cool.
Carpenter did at the Dome. He just walked around his car looking at the names with holding the microphone, shouting out the sponsors.
That worked too. I mean, when you're coming up, you know, I never came off of a local track, so I had Al's Bike Shop, you know, was my one and only sponsor, and then I actually got one special sponsor, the Unical 76 up in town when I raced with a long time ago. So anyway, Mr. Thornhill, man, it's great to watch you guys races tonight. We're glad that you gave us the opportunity to broadcast this for you. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to watch it. Appreciate your time here, and hopefully see you guys again in the near future. We'll get you back up in the booth, and hopefully get some more of these kind of big races going on. You guys did a heck of a job, and would like to see this again.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
I appreciate your time. We'll let you get going. See you later.
Have a good one. I'm sorry, but finger fell out the bike.
All right, no problem.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, Andy, that was our first One to Go Studios race with the Lightspeed Racing League guys. What do you think, man?
Great group of guys. They're real clean racing. We only saw one yellow all night. I'm kind of excited. Where do we go next week? Do we know?
Well, I like I said, we just kind of got this information last night for this league, and I know they're starting another league up in, I believe he said March. So as I get more information, we'll be posting it on our Facebook at One to Go Studios. If you get a chance to look at us there, and you guys are watching us on YouTube, we'll put it up on the schedule as well. If you're interested in watching anything else that we're doing, we also do Sunday nights with the USRLA, United States Racing League Association, which is Andy's league. We run Legends doubleheaders followed by the late model Monte Carlos. And where are you guys going this weekend?
This week we're on the same track, but it's actually two tracks. We got in the 9 o'clock. We're going to run the Legends on the inner oval at Irwindale, and then we're going to run the outer oval with the late models at Irwindale.
It's always a good time to watch you guys. A lot of good racing there. They got they do admin from inside the cars, which is kind of interesting watching Andy with his fingers. But if you get a chance to watch us there, if you've come to watch us on One to Go Studios with the LSRL guys, please give us a follow. We're at 51 currently. We're looking for 100. It'll definitely help us out with our overall stuff. One to Go Studios not only does iRacing, we do I follow Harold Darner myself on Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I'm also a tech pastor at Oasis Church. So if you actually go on One to Go Studio, you'll see Oasis Church, and that's with Pastor Jim and myself, and we do that every Sunday morning out of the church in Delaware, and in Newark, Delaware, Oasis Church. So if you're looking to check us out with that, so you'll be helping us out with the church, you'll be helping us out with other leagues, and if you're looking for a broadcaster, you can give me a shout out either on our Facebook page at One to Go Studios, or One to Go Studios at gmail.com. And so, Andy, you got anything before we shut off?
I believe the only other thing we got coming up is maybe some Roush off-road stuff. Maybe next Wednesday?
Yep. Final Roush Esports at the Wild Horse. The number 01 will be myself. And I'm an in-car reporter for Roush Esports. So if you get a chance to check that out, Roush Esports, they're also on Facebook. And we're mixing it up with Chris Busher, Joey Atterbury, Nate Stacy, Jack Jr. I'm trying to remember if I'm probably forgetting about a million guys, because just about half of those drivers were professionals and half of them are iRacers. So it's kind of cool to get a chance to get out. And Jack Jr. has an announcement on Wednesday about what we're doing in the spring. So don't, if you get a chance to check us out, I will be I do my in-car on One to Go Studios. We have the full broadcast being sent over the airways on Roush Esports. So that was good for you to bring that up for me, Andy. And to all my viewers out there for One to Go Sports, One to Go Studios, I need you guys to have a blessed holiday season, which we just came up with. And, we got Easter coming up. And as Andy said, if you're under the winter warnings, stay safe, stay warm, and we hope to see you guys soon at One to Go Studios. I'm Harold Darner, my co-host Andy. Appreciate you being here, and you guys have a good night.